What's that commercial? Cut the cable. My other son thinks he's funny. He loves messing with me because he knows I get all riled up. I'm gonna show you how to do quarter round without using a saw at all. No, it's not magic. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tim. I'm a flooring and stair contractor, and we are coming to you from Boca Raton, Florida today. And I'm gonna show you start to finish how to install Nucore flooring. A lot of great tips and tricks along the way, so without any further ado, let's hit it.
Hey, what do you say? This whole town could be red by the end of the day. If you feel alright, we can throw it and drive. With the radio up so loud they can hear us from miles.
So we're going to be installing floors in 2 bedrooms today. This is my oldest son, Tristan, working in this room by himself today. And in the other room, my son, Hunter, is working with me. Yes, it's going to be 2 against 1. Let's see who finishes first. All right, so we are installing some Nucore today. We're going to show you how to install it from start to finish. Today's color is Boardwalk Isle. All right, let's take a look at it, open it up. All right, here is the color. It's an interesting gray. First thing you want to do is take a look at what you're working with. You're going to want to mix up the boards. You see we have a high variation floor here. See how dark to light to medium. So we're going to want to mix all these boards up to get an even look throughout the whole floor. Now we are working over concrete, and whenever you have a concrete floor and you're doing Nucore, you're going to want to put the 6mm poly vapor barrier under it, or at least one of their paddings that has a vapor barrier on it, like the Sentinel. But this is where we're going to start on this wall here, and we're going to work our way to the far wall and into this closet. We're going to be putting a molding in the doorway where we transition to the tile. The tile is really uneven, and we have a big height difference there as well. But the back door, we have a really super high track here. And we're not going to need to put a molding there because the vinyl does not expand very much, and moldings look tacky. I don't like them. It's a lot more custom to eliminate them. The nice thing about Nucore or any vinyl floor is you can do it without a saw. You can basically do the entire, not basically, you actually can do the whole installation with nothing more than a razor knife. Yep, this is all you need, which is why for do-it-yourselfers, vinyl is really, really popular. Now, I always suggest starting your floor on a nice, long, straight wall, closest to your entry point of your room, because you want to make sure you're nice and straight when you walk into the room. Now, keep in mind, with most floors, it's as a left to right installation. In our case here, we definitely want to start on this side of the room so that the first board in our rows are up against this track, so we're not ending and having to make a perfect cut at the track. Something I want to point out, if you see all this dust or these dark spots on top of all the baseboard, that is from the carpet that we removed here. It was packed with dust, but that is exactly why we removed carpet. Now we're going to be doing a random installation where you're not going to have 2 boards that line up on the end joints across the whole floor. So what I like to do is start with a full board, then we'll go with a 3/4 board, and then a smaller piece, and you'll run these rows out. When you make your final cut over there, the piece that falls off of it will be your first cut in this row. Now you want to leave expansion up against the wall. Vinyl doesn't expand much, but it will expand a little bit. We're not going to worry about that yet. We're going to install the first few rows, and then we're just going to pull the whole floor outward. So don't worry about expansion until you get some floor installed. Now you see when I put it in, the joint didn't quite close all the way. So a little trick to that is you can either hit it with your, whack it with your mallet and it closes, or what I like to do is take a scrap board here and whack it, and that'll force these long joints to close. I don't like putting a tapping block or anything up against this because you can damage the edge, but when you're locked into the groove like that, this becomes the greatest tapping block you could ever ask for. You just hit that with your hammer or mallet and it will close any long joints that's giving you a problem. So, one of the biggest things you're going to need to use your mallet on is closing all the drop and lock end systems. Now, one of The biggest challenge is always going to be your first couple rows, getting them installed. And see, I locked in. I locked in here, but I'm not in here. So here's a cool little trick. We're going to take a scrap board, splitting the boards half and half. That's our joint. We're going to take a scrap piece of floor, and we're going to use it as a block. Voila! Now, want to make sure we engage that end locking system, and that's it. We'll take that out for now. We'll put our floor up against the wall, and we'll do our spacing later. He's got an L cut that he's cut around the base that's going to run into the slider. Key is we want to be nice and tight up against that track there. And look at that. That is nice.
Not really much variation with this one.
Yeah, okay, funny. My other son thinks he's funny. He comes in and says there's not that much variation with this floor because making me think that he didn't check the boxes and he's putting all the same color boards in. Funny, he always tries to pull one over on me. Loves messing with me because he knows I get all riled up. It's like care way too much.
It's really just 4 different boards.
It's 4 different boards.
Light rustic, normal, or it's light rustic, light normal, dark rustic, dark normal.
So it's a repeating pattern, but there, as you can see, there is a high variation, but there's only so many boards in a box, you know? The key to not have the problem I had on that first one is to make sure this is lined up properly on your first row up against the wall. If this is off a little bit, you'll see how I had to finagle it and hit it and put boards behind it. As long as you get that in nicely, it goes a lot smoother. At the end of the day, they can only put so many unique patterns, usually 5 to 7 different patterns.
Dark normal, dark rustic.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So the 2 different, like a dark and a light, and then one of them is a rustic, and then one is like a normal.
Light rustic.
But they're the same color tone, like the same like dark or light, and then one of them is smooth, and one of them is rustic, light and dark. I get it. Now I get what you're saying. I'm getting the grasp of this thing. A lot of times, though, what the problem I see, especially with real wood floors, it's hard to find. Like, there's always like a board that you can never find. Like when you want to mix in like the even amount of dark boards, they never put enough dark boards, or they never put in too many dark boards, not enough light boards. Usually,
Pretty good mix.
there's a good mix. Nice for a change. I love it when the cable wires are. What's that commercial? Cut the cable. Think he'll let us? That is so annoying. One of the nice things when you're doing these floors like this is you don't need to use tape measures and get all technical. We flipped the board backwards, so now our big tongue is going the opposite way. We'll put it where we want it to end. We're going to do 2 boards at once, right there. Big tongue's going the opposite way. We got it up against the tile. We don't want to be a perfect cut for putting a T-molding, so we're going to leave a 1/2 inch. Now be careful you don't cut your vapor barrier. If you're not good or you're not used to doing this, put a board under it. If you don't feel confident, you can stop at the end because you do not want to cut your vapor barrier. Right there. There's that one. And then we're going to do the same thing on our other board here. Bam, bam, they're both cut. I just love vinyl because now we'll tape the board, we'll flip it over. Look at that. The big piece goes here, the fall off piece goes to the back of the house, and that becomes our starter. Alright, so he's been busy while making that cut. He's got most of the room laid. Alright, you trying to show me up, make me look slow or something? Trying to best me. I said you're trying to best me. Okay, so we can pull it out now. You got a pry bar? I'm just gonna give it like 1/8 of an inch out. We have a solid floor and we can give us a hair of expansion. We'll use a pry bar and we'll just shim it out just a little bit here. You can just stick a board in there. And a lot of times we'll just nail the board right up to the base, but just put something in there to keep that spacing. That's all you need, a little bit with vinyl. or you can put your floor on here to keep it in place. Now once you get enough floor in that you can actually get onto the completed floor side, it gets a lot easier. We got our board we want to put in, and we got our board. We're going to slide it back and forth and just kind of wiggle it down, drop it where it needs to go. But yeah, that is all there is to it. Look at all this progress. Let's see how he's at. I know we're smoking him. He's probably just getting started. Oh yeah, we're done over there in that room. I'm putting my rip in. I am. I can't believe this is all you got done.
Not even halfway done.
What?
Not even halfway done.
He's doing a quarter round. We're out of here. Alright. See you later. He might have had slightly more than us done. I predict we will finish before him though. Alright, so as you can see, our room's almost done. But I have one last and really important trick to show you. This is usually one of the hardest things when you're doing floors the first time you're doing it, or one of your first times, is getting that last row marked and then installed. I'm going to show you one of my best tricks to eliminate the need for a tape measure, give you a perfect mark every time. This is called the last row trick. So what we've done here is I've cut the last row that we're putting in here to length. I've cut, these are all the boards that I'm going to be placing in there once I cut them down to like about a 3 or 4 inch piece. And what I've done is I've taken these boards and they're sitting on top of the last completed row. So we actually have 2 layers of floor here. The one we're going to cut and then the one that's already installed underneath of it. The board on top here is going to end up in that area where the floor is missing. Now we're going to take a marking board. So we're going to place it up against the baseboard now, and where it intersects with the board, we just draw a line on. And we'll just continue this the whole way down, and that's the exact measurement of the wall. And this is one of the reasons everybody loves vinyl. Check this out, I'm using nothing but my razor knife. With any other type of flooring, I would have to walk out to a table saw and make this cut, probably downstairs in another part of the building. Definitely not in the same room where I am working here. This is so easy. I cut it and then I just use my mallet to snap it. So easy and safe. Now as you can see here, it is the perfect size for the area we need to install it. And at the wall line, super easy. You can just use a pry bar to keep it up on a slight angle. It's even better. Pry bar it in and then drop it down while the pressure's on it. That's all there is to it. Close our end joint. It's that easy. And that is the last row trick. But now I'm going to show you something super cool. If you have to do quarter round, you're not going to want to miss this. I'm going to show you how to do quarter round without using a saw at all. No, it's not magic, but it is how we do quarter round. So check these out. These are our quarter round scissors, and they even cut pine. Today we're doing MDF quarter round. I'm doing matching quarter round, which really has to be precise. And look at that. That 45, he doesn't even have to use a tape measure. He just used the scissors to mark the board. Look at that. So safe because you're not using a saw. I'm going to put the link in the description for these scissors. They're a must if you're doing quarter round. They even cut all types of other trim that we work with. Oh, look at that. Bam. Cuts the corner. Wow, nice and tight. Look at that seam. That is tighter, or just as tight as a saw would get it. And then he uses the actual scissors instead of a pencil to just put a little blade mark in it. And then snap, you're done. Snap, you're done. That is super easy, and it's way safer than if you had to use a miter saw. Makes no dust. You'll do your quarter round in a fraction of the time without ever leaving the room to walk to a saw. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can get scissors like this for yourself. They're a must if you are doing quarter round. Bottom right now. Bottom. Look at these. Strong. They don't break. Bottom. Boy, that is impressive work there. Did you just think of that? Alright, so here we go. This is the completed Nucore. Not bad for a day's work. 2 rooms, 400 feet, about 3.5 hours, 3 hours. We really didn't rush. What a difference it tends to make. When you have carpet, carpet seems to make the room almost look smaller. When you switch to any hard surfaces, vinyl, laminate, you name it, with the lines in the floor, it always makes the rooms look bigger. So I always tell people, when you're deciding which direction to lay it, you gotta take a couple things into consideration. You wanna look down the planks when you walk into the room. You want the length of the room to be the way you lay it, and you want light flow to run down the boards. This checked all 3. It's a very pretty floor. It's a high variation vinyl floor. It gives the room a lot of character, and it definitely is a cleaner look, and it makes everything look bigger. Project done. 3-4 hours. We were out of there. The customer was happy. The floor looks amazing. Be sure you follow all of our tips if you're installing your own floor. These are what we actually do for our clients, and these are things we've learned over the years. They are proven and they work. If you enjoyed this video and you want to find out more tips and tricks like these, be sure to check out all of our other content. We have lots of great videos just like this on how to install vinyl floors, wood floors. We review products and much, much more. So please like, share, tell your friends and family. And of course, if you already haven't, take out your favorite floor and mount and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. Thanks for watching.